Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's Action Figure Showcase, we've got NWO 2002. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. As I said in the opening, we've got NWO from 2002. So I did expand this a little bit. So I wanted to start out with the iteration of NWO we got when they came back to WWE. So we had the OGs. We had Hulk Hogan, we had Kevin Nash, we had Scott Hall. So my Hulk Hogan here, I did feature him on Work in Progress Wednesday a while back, and he is fixed up to have the correct skin tone. So we did just get him in his Hollywood attire from WrestleMania in that Hollywood Elite series. So we got him with the tan torso. We didn't get him, there's his accessories. We didn't get the updated orange skin tone, and if you go and look back at that match, Hulk Hogan was darker than The Rock, so I needed to switch that up. I gave him an extra Elite 96 torso that I had. I painted up his beard, so you can see I gave him the shadow here, fixed him up so it'd be more accurate, and just updated. So I did use those same legs. And I think I might have even done this custom before we got that Hollywood Hogan, and then I just swapped the new boots on there because it had a little more details than the custom I did. But for Kevin Nash, obviously nothing I did there. That is just the Ruthless Aggression figure that we finally, kind of got in mass. We're supposed to get, Ruthless Aggression has just had a weird distribution, so took a bit to get that, but I was excited. That was really the only piece I had left to fill my NWO from that time period. So glad that I could pick him up. The Scott Hall figure here, I did fix up just a tiny bit. I put the Legends head on him with the white bandana instead of the toothpick head that we had. So I actually have, so this is the figure I swapped with. So we got that in the WrestleMania line as well, I believe, and we got that a while back. I was able to pick him up, and one thing I don't like about the tires here is that the Scott Hall and then the Booker T that I'm gonna bring up here have like the same tights. I've always thought that was kind of weird. Anyway, moving on, we've got my Scott Hall. So I just liked this head better for like that representation. I gave him the toothpick head on this Wolfpack body. This is the Legends figure that we got, the NWO Wolfpack, and then here we've got the NWO on the tights on the front, and then on the back it says Hall. So got those guys, and that was just like our core group. So they did start to fill out the NWO a little bit more, very, very briefly. So next up here we've got my custom Big Show from that time, and he kind of looked like this for a while, but we've got Big Show in, it was just like he was just kind of like floating around doing whatever, but he was one of the quote original members in the NWO and WCW. He joined NWO for that time period in 2002. I used a head scan, so this is a custom. It's all Big Show parts, I think. Maybe the legs. I want to say the legs might be from an Andre the Giant Elite, because most of the Big Show Elites we have like the like black right here. So I didn't want to paint it, I just wanted to swap parts. We have gotten a Big Show. His giant figure has the bare legs all the way, but does not have the singlet that we needed. So here's the giant figure, and this is with the head scan from the battle pack with Ric Flair. So there they are next to each other. Really, I needed these legs, and then I took a normal Big Show torso. He's got his tattoos on his arm, so it was pretty simple. It was just kind of hard to chase down those parts. And then the head for that, my custom Big Show, is from a basic, Survivor Series basic, I want to say. Not sure which Survivor Series it was based off. It might have been when he was U.S. champ against John Cena. I don't remember exactly. It was, the basic came out before I was collecting, so I didn't put a lot of effort into figuring out where it was from. I just knew I needed to track down that that head scan. So we'll get Giant out of here and we'll keep moving on. Next up, we got a couple official releases. So we've got this X-Pac from the Fan Takeover line, and this was not what I voted for. I think there was an X Factor design, and then I don't know if it was there a 1, 2, 3 kid choice, or maybe a different X-Pac attire. Nonetheless, when we got this, I was already working on an NWO X-Pac custom, and I think this figure is awesome. Of all that we like, the X-Pac figures we get are really good. This one, I think it's fantastic. I like the part choices. They gave him the Randy Orton kind of ripped up torso underneath. We got the headband for him that I think fits on the head really well. Without it, it does look like kind of big, but the other X-Pacs we've had have had the bandana like in there, so I think this just fits over really well. Like I said, I like the torso choice. I like the leg choices. I think this is a fantastic figure. I think the likeness could be there a little bit more, but overall, I was very impressed with this. I wasn't like pumped when they announced it, and it exceeded expectations. So never going to complain when a figure wows me more than I expected. Next up here, we have the Booker T that we just got in the Ruthless Aggression line, and I think I said when I unboxed or reviewed or whatever that it was a weird cut to get in the Ruthless Aggression line because he was barely in the NWO, and there's so many, what am I doing? Why am I putting it over there? There were so many different things we could have done with Booker T for the Ruthless Aggression line, but maybe they're just trying to fill this out. So we're not going to get a big show from them anytime soon. I don't know, maybe we'll get the Shawn Michaels in the NWO attire from them. I don't know, San Diego Comic-Con's coming up very, very soon, so gonna find out if that's coming down the line. Anyway, back to Booker T here. So I fixed him up a little bit. I gave him the wrist cuffs, and I gave him the white boots instead of the black that he came with. The only match I really saw, I tried to look him up. He did an entrance with X-Pac, and he was wearing white boots, and I think it looks a lot better. But here's what I was saying about the attires. Him and Scott Hall have the same tights, and I don't know what the deal was with that. There's nothing on the back of his, but it's the same exact thing. I don't know if that was like part of the storyline there, but just doesn't make it pop. Whatever. It's a dumb thing to get stuck on, but nonetheless, I think overall it's a good Booker T figure. I really like this head scan. They got the double jointed arms, and the formula for Booker T is pretty good. So it is what it is. We've got Booker there. And last but not least is, of course, a custom. We've got to end my showcase with a custom. So I've got my custom NWO Shawn Michaels. And this one, really, it was pretty simple to put together. I took some Edge legs from his WrestleMania Elite we got a while back. The one where he had his hardcore match with Mick Foley. I took a t-shirt torso from a Kevin Nash figure, actually. I used the Kevin Nash torso that already had NWO on it. It was in red, though, so I did paint over it. And if you get in real close, you can see there's like some red specks in there that I didn't like quite cover, but from a distance, I think it just looks perfectly fine. I used some basic arms and just swapped those onto some gold dust shoulders so that we've got the Shawn Michaels tattoo here, t-shirt torso, and this crotch piece and torso don't fit. So a lot of these t-shirt torsos are too, like, there's a gap, so they'll move around, but they make little rubber pieces every now and then in the figures. So that's what I have in here, and I don't remember, I think it was a Dean Ambrose figure that I actually took that from to do that. So I just gave him the normal boot feet. I don't remember what shoes, if he was like wearing cowboy boots or I'm not sure. So I tried to look, I couldn't tell. That's just what I went with. Highly likely that he was wearing the some cowboy boots, as it is HBK. And then this head scan is just the custom head scan that I've been using for my Ruthless Aggression era Shawn Michaels figures. It's a Billy Gunn hair piece. It's a Defining Moments figure, so I just left the hair on the sides and shaved it off, and then I glued this on top, repainted, and it's scuffed a little bit, so you can like see some blonde up top there. I need to repaint that, but overall, I didn't want to put a lot of time and effort into this Shawn Michaels because with the way that we've been getting these NWO figures for this era, it wouldn't surprise me if we got it as in an Elite line, or like if they put it in the Legends line. I don't know, maybe some line where they can just sneak it in there so we can fill this up. But again, not one that not one I'd be super interested in. Just, I needed to have it. I like to fill out groups. I like to have everyone in stables. So as short-lived as this was, had to throw it together for the shelf. Had to throw it together for the showcase. So there's everyone. Just tried to piece them together a little bit, get them a little closer. Overall, you know, I'm happy. I like that this is a group that I could fill out, even though they have close to zero historical purpose or impact. It is what it is. I like filling out groups, whether they are big or small. You know, I've got some very niche customs in my collection, so all big names. Just a weird time for the NWO. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if it was worth filling this out. Do you want the rest of this NWO roster? Do you think we're going to get that Shawn Michaels? I want more Shawn Michaels Ruthless Aggression figures, especially now that we're getting the brown tights one. I'm really excited for the brown tights one. It's my favorite pay-per-view of all time. It was on my birthday, actually. So anyway, moving on. That's going to wrap things up for today's showcase. If you have other showcases you would like to see, let me know, whether it be a group, whether it be a certain era, certain time, whatever. If I have it, I will gladly do it. Other than that, please continue to like, share, subscribe. I always appreciate it. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.